Hi and welcome to winemastery.co.uk. My name's John Lightfoot and I'm with the delightful
Joana Paes from Quinta da Casaboa.
And we're in wonderful Portugal, aren't we?
Yes, we are. We are here in the Lisbon region, in Torres Vedras, Runa, very near from Lisbon.
So it's just north of Lisbon, isn't it? It's about a 45-minute drive from the north.
It's very easy, as you could check,
yeah,
for sure, because you have highway all the time, and well, here you are.
Here we are, yeah, and it's so beautiful here. I must say the gardens are beautiful.
Thank you.
And I've had a look around the cellars, and you'll be seeing those in a moment. And I must say I'm really struck by the history of the vineyard, because this has been in your family for a long time.
Yes, yes, indeed. Well, my grandfather bought this property in 1958.
Okay.
So 50 years ago. And well, he started then planting vineyards to make wine, because it was his passion. Well, this house, as you could see, it's very old. Very old,
yeah.
It dates back to 18th century.
Wow, really,
yeah.
That old, yeah?
Yeah.
Wow, wow. So so your grandfather moved in here in the 50s. He bought the vineyard, and the house was part of buying the vineyards.
Well, yes. Well, the house had a small area around, and in the years after, he bought two more properties next to us. This main property, it's called Quinta da Granja, and in the years after, he bought two more properties, Quinta da Casaboa and Quinta das Pederneiras, that achieved an area of 120 hectares. And in the past, we were making wine of 100 hectares of vineyard.
Wow.
Well, but not at the moment. Well, the company, it's quite different. The third generation, that it's led by me, have changed all the philosophy of the company.
So you've gone to much more artisan quality rather than volume. You're looking much more at quality.
We're looking to make quality wines with indigenous grapes towards exportation. So we want to show the world what we have in Portugal. And in the past, we had a lot of grapes, but grapes that were not made well, to make quality wines. They only were interesting for
large volume and normal and sort of like table wines.
Thank you for your help, John.
No, not at all. You're speaking in not your mother tongue. That's very kind of you to speak in English for our viewers. So thank you for making that effort. And I know it's very difficult. I'm very useless. I can only just speak English myself. So speaking another language, I can totally understand the difficulty having to convert it in your head each time. So the wines. So you've focused down to quality. So how did you decide what wines you were going to produce? What drove you to saying, well, okay, we're going to go for quality, so we're going to produce this wine, this wine, this wine? Because obviously we have the selection behind us of the wonderful wines you make.
Well, John, it was not an automatic thing. In the years 2000, we've decided we had to make a restructuring. So we've started to plant new vineyards, and we thought about Portuguese grapes that at that time could be interesting to export to the world. So we've thought about Touriga Nacional, and now 12 years ago we see that it was a good bet. And then we've thought about Aragonês, Tinta Roriz, because it's an Iberian grape that has already some known in Europe, because it's the same as Tempranillo in Spain.
Yeah.
We've thought about Alicante Boucher, because it's a great grape that gives color and structure to the wines, so it could help us to have some reds, more bodied. Well, and then we've decided to plant an international grape because we were starting, we were new. Portugal was also new in the world and in Europe.
Yeah.
And well, it was more secure to have something also international.
Yeah.
So for this reason, we've planted also Merlot.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
And well, and for the whites, we've chosen Arinto because it was a grape that was typical in this region and very fresh and good. And then we've decided to bet in something that was not common here.
Okay.
And that was Alvarinho.
Okay, yeah.
Because that was common in the north of Portugal, but it's, well, here the soil is very different and the climate totally different from the north. So, well, we've decided to risk with that grapes. And, well, when we had the first production, then we've started to make the labeling and the wines. And what we wanted to create some surprise to our customers, some unexpected things. Because we had a lot of history, tradition, and that was very common, old things. So we didn't make an extreme change in our technology here in the winery, because this is what we are.
Yeah.
Artisan, authentic, but we've decided to make that clash, that surprise thing in our labeling.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
So behind those sophisticated and uncommon labels, we have that tradition.
Yes.
So I believe this explains our positioning.
Yeah.
To present to our customers indigenous grapes, authenticity, and produce an effect of unexpecting, positively unexpecting to the customers. I hope I've explained myself.
I think so, yeah. I mean, I think that you obviously, so you've really sort of focused on quality, but I accept that you don't want it to be seen as something that's very, you want it to appeal to younger people as well. So the impact of the label is something that you can see is very modern. But behind that is the top, but behind that, the history supports the wine and its quality. Yeah.
You know that when I've entered in this business 12 years ago, I was a young girl, and well,
12 years old.
I was 30.
Whoa.
30 years old, and well, it was also quite unexpected because it was an old winery that needs a transformation, and a young lady assumed the command of that company to restructure. So that was not easy.
No.
And we wanted to give this young feeling, this young push to the wines. And one way that we find was through the image.
Okay, and in terms of the images, did you employ a consultant to do that, or was it sort of a family thing coming up with the designs? Or?
No, actually we had a consultancy with an agency that we are working for several years, and the name is Brand Taste.
Brand Taste?
Brand Taste.
Okay, so that's...
They work in Portugal, and well, she's excellent. Her name is Joana as well.
As well, okay.
Well, and for me, she has a great creativity.
Oh, fantastic, fantastic. So, in terms of the wines that you have, what would you say in terms of pairing, in terms of foods? What would you typically pair as we go along the collection with food? Was this presumably, would you say fish or?
Yeah, well, Quinta da white, fish for sure, grilled fish, or even salads. I think it would great with salads or even with sushi.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Well, this one Quinta da goes very well with some meat or even pasta.
Okay. Yeah.
simple plates. I believe it goes very well. Well, and the reds, all of them could go well with dishes with grilled meat, roasted things, or even bacalhau.
Okay.
Goes perfectly with reds. And well, all of them have a lot of structure and are very gastronomic.
Yeah.
So.
And I guess, well, I think the other thing is, of course, the other thing is you can just drink it as we are now, just drink it on its own.
Yeah, yeah. Cheers.
Cheers. So you obviously I presume you're selling into Portugal, and what other markets are you selling your brand into? What other countries?
Well, actually, at the moment, we have already some markets in Europe. We're selling to Germany, to Netherlands, to Switzerland, to UK.
Okay, and that's a recent one, isn't it? That's where we first met in the.
Yeah, that's it. Yes, we went to the London Wine Fair, and well, it did went very well, and well, we find a partner.
Fantastic, fantastic, good stuff. And I'll put a link to that for those of you in the UK. I'll put a link to that.
Thank you.
To below.
So briefly, you will find Quinta da Casaboa wines in your country.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I think that this sort of goes. People from actually Taiwan, China, everyone very fortunate in having a sort of global audience. So what I'd also do is I'll put your website address below, and then obviously from there, presumably they will be able to find where they can buy the wine if it's available locally in their country.
Well, yeah. In the website we have the countries where we are available, but you can communicate with us by the website. It's very easy. You'll send an email and we'll answer quickly, and we can help you, of course.
Yeah. So in the process, you obviously have your vines around, and then so you have a more than one cellar, I believe. It's a whole process it goes through. Would you just like to outline how what happens? The grapes are picked, and then they come into a cellar. They put into a tank, or what happens?
Well, so I'll try to explain. So the grapes are picked. They enter in our concrete tanks, but all covered with epoxy and with temperature control. So we have a very traditional cellar that you will see in a few minutes. And well, it's adapted to temperature. So what I mean is that the grapes go into the tanks, stay there in a temperature control. Then we wait some time, and then after that, when the wine is ready, we'll change the wine to other cellar that we have, that we call our aging cellar.
Okay.
So we keep all the wines before they go to the bottle.
Okay.
Then we have, of course, all the grapes separate by tanks, and then me and the winemaker Vera Moreira that helps us. We decide what we want to put in the bottle.
Okay.
Of course, that all of the range and all of this brand has its own philosophy.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, I don't know if I answered your question.
No, that's fine. No, I think obviously, it's just a sort of an understanding for those people that are, new to wine, just to understand actually how the sort of process it goes. And then you have it bottled, and then you store it. And do you have, because obviously you've only just started with these sort of specialized wines. So do you have bottles that you put down, that people would put down, or is it designed more for people to consume within a few years of when it's bottled?
Well, actually, we have this Reserva. The name of the wine is Casaboa Reserva Homenagem. This means homage.
Yes.
It's an homage to my grandfather, the founder of Quinta da Casaboa. And well, it's a special wine that it's made 100% with Touriga Nacional, and it has been aged in barrels.
Okay.
And well, this wine, it's a wine that has a great longevity. This is a wine that can be kept in your cellar for 10 years at least.
Really, yeah.
Really, yeah. And it's a special wine for us. Since I came in the company, this is our 4th reserva.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. We've made in 05, we've made in 11, we've made in 07, and now the 15.
Wow.
We only make this wine in the excellent years of Touriga Nacional.
So if you have a good year, then that's when
It's a very special wine. It's an homage to my grandfather, and we never want to disappoint the clients.
No, of course.
So if they are used to a quality wine, in our next reserva, we want to maintain or upper the quality of the wine.
Yeah.
And well, this wine is thinking to have longevity and to be kept, undoubtedly.
Excellent, excellent. I always admire people that manage to keep wine, though I've never quite managed to keep it myself. So,
well, it's not easy, especially for people who likes wine.
Exactly.
And I'm one of those.
You are.
Yes.
That must be very dangerous for you with.
Yes, it is very.
Just on tap. Okay. Well, thank you so much for your time in
You're
talking
welcome,
to us.
John.
Thank you
It
very
was
much.
a pleasure to have you here. I hope you enjoyed. It was a pleasure to meet you some months ago.
Yeah.
At the London Wine Fair.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
And
well, it's lovely, and
here
it's
we
lovely. It's lovely to having tasted this at home. It's lovely to come here and actually just see where it all originates. It's really beautiful. It's a really beautiful spot here. Actually, wonderful place you have. It's marvelous.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
That's a pleasure. Okay, guys. Well, with that, then I think we'll say cheerio, and we'll see you in the next one.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.